Yep. Give it a little rev.
Let's start this tour of the back. This fully restored 2004 Roadtrek was pretty much gutted from the back. We removed an entire back piece and redid the flooring, insulated it with 1-inch foam. As you can see, we redid all the panels with Marathon twill fabric and installed a second shower spigot in the back. This is pretty handy. You wash your dog, wash yourself, spray your friends, whatever. Hot water is also plumbed to the back. As you can see, the wand has 2 settings here. You just twist. Pretty handy location. Now we're going to go inside and check out all the restoration. The floor has a new epoxy coat. Most of this is original. Added the subwoofer there on the entry. Cabinetry is original, but all has been repainted. Original kind of mirror there. All new electronics, new displays here for the Renogy, new speakers, and then we did a new epoxy coat for the countertop. This spot right there was swapped out for like a coffee maker. Every surface was pretty much touched. These are the original 3 windows on the ceiling. The custom upholstered seats were redone by a local company. Did an excellent job to mimic the original. The goal here is to do kind of a monochromatic look, so you'll see a lot of blacks and grays and whites. That was very intentional. That floor front was also rubberized, removed. There was carpet there. In the back here, we got a 6-inch foam mattress. These are all the original windows. Again, all the fabric you see there has been redone, repaneled. New lighting as well in the back. There is an operable window in the back. This is great to turn on the max air fan and pull in or push out. A nice breeze when you're sleeping at night. Again, the flooring here is rubberized and there's no carpet in here. Great for pets. Easy to wash out, easy to wipe out. And as you can see here, this is a pretty unique floor plan with the 2 captain's chairs and the king bed in the back. Here's the driver's side. You also note that the dash was rewrapped in this kind of carbon fiber look, gray carbon fiber. And we'll go over the audio system here in a minute, but you'll see a couple of speakers. This is the hot water timer. I put it on a timer so that you couldn't accidentally leave it on. It pulls a lot of power, of course, but you twist it and then you push back here on the sink and you got hot water. There's 3 locations for hot water. One was in the back, as you saw, one here, and then also in the shower area. It does drain to a gray tank, which is beneath the van. You can see here we turn off the water pump very conveniently. This is an isotherm, high-end fridge, excellent cooling capabilities. It runs off a compressor, so it's very efficient. Pretty much can run 24/7 with the solar on the roof. This is a neat little tweak. Deleted all the gas and put in an induction cooktop. In fact, there's no gas left in the van. Remove the hot water heater, that was gas. Remove the heater, that was gas. So everything's electric. There's a big inverter. We'll go over the electronics at the end. And this will run your microwave and your hot water heater and all the 120 volt appliances. Pretty unique in a van of this size. This is the 12 volt air conditioner, which has the remote there. And it also uniquely runs off the battery bank. I've had it up to 12 hours overnight sleeping in it, running off the battery bank. Pretty unique as well. beneath the sink, there's room for, well, here's our vent fan. It does vent to the outside, and there's a light for it as well. Replaced all lighting with new LED lighting. It was incandescent before, which pulled a lot more power. This is super efficient now, and just trickle power from the battery bank. And you can see the monitoring system there. There's also an app for the Renogy system, and there's your battery disconnect right there. So you turn that off, all of the power turns off, as you can see. It's like a main disconnect and then back on. So when you leave it for a while, you can make sure no power is being drawn. Storage is what's super unique about this rig. It's really everywhere. I mean, you got big, deep bays in the back that are quite long. And then all throughout, there's cabinetry. Shelves galore. You've got pantries times 2. You've got wardrobes. It's just storage is everywhere, pretty much. There's a toilet closet here. I deleted the black tank. No one likes those, and installed a composting toilet. This is one of the most regarded in the van community, the Trelino. Very easy to work with. You can look up more about how that works. And then a little trash can next to it. This is also the shower area. We'll come back to it here in a minute and give you a little more feel for it. Again, more storage in here, despite the subwoofer in the cabinet. And then even more storage here. You could fit a roller bag easily at the base of this cabinet. And then under the sink, you've got pots and pans. Again, storage everywhere. And there's a little coffee maker and a trash can. Storage up top. Little vanity here. And then one more at the top. That little tray there is kind of intended to put maybe a coffee maker of your choice. These utensils will go with the rig. Okay, we haven't finished. Underneath, there's this massive storage bag. You can fit a golf bag under there, skis, you name it. Right now it houses the electrical cord. It's some hose for the water. And then there's one more dry bay on the other side. Right there, you could store underneath. Pretty unique to have these fiberglass storage bays. This is blackout mode, so here we have covers for all the windows, many to match, and then you can see here as I'm testing the lighting. Also, this lighting is dimmable. You hold the button in, it dims automatically. It remembers that position, and then you press once to turn off. And then up front, we've got solar shades, again, blocking out the whole vehicle. So this is stealth mode. If you're parked somewhere, no one can see in and you can't see out. And it's most efficient with these solar, reflective shades up front. There were originally curtains over those 3 windows, which are still going with the van, but I don't have them up. And that's stealth mode. Here's the shower. As you can see, it comes out of the closet, and there is a rail up top where the shower curtain pretty much wraps around. So there's your spigot, or your faucet rather, shower head, and then all the way around the shower curtain wraps. Pretty elegant, and it drains into the pan. So yeah, believe it or not, there is a shower pan through the whole base. This is epoxy coated, and there's a drain right here in the center. So there it goes, down to the gray tank. Super convenient, just pull the rug up and you've got a full wet space to clean a dog, clean yourself, spill something, wash it out, doesn't matter. Very unique in a van. You don't see that in modern vans. And then here's where you dump the gray tank from the outside, right there. You can dump it like that, or you can run a hose to it to a dump station if needed. Super simple. I restored this in a very simple way. This is a Fiamma awning, which are really popular now, but were popular back then. And I'll show you it coming out here in a second. It's original and it works great. And it actually is the same kind of color scheme, this monochromatic look. A little retro, even though it was just over 20 years ago. It attaches to the sides of the van, you can see there, and it's pretty darn secure. It is a manual awning. You just crank right here with this rod. Apple CarPlay, Alpine stereo system, and then all the upgrades to the speakers. This is pretty great, as well as a backup camera. So here's a full tour of the electronics. Here you have a 400 amp hour energy battery, pretty massive. This is a battery disconnect for the AC, 12 volt AC. And the rest is in here is going to be the charging components and the inverter. So there's the inverter, as you can see, with properly sized fuses. This is the Bluetooth transmitter, so you can see everything on the app. Here's the inputs for solar and the alternator, so when you drive it charges, when it sits the sun it charges. There's a battery disconnect or fuse when it's alternator charging. That's the hot water heater, which plugs in right to the pump right there. And then there's a lever down here that there's two tanks, one on board and one outside, and you can switch between kind of winter mode and summer mode. And then here's a temperature gauge for the fans. The fans turn on when it hits a certain temperature, which provides ventilation in that whole bay. It's pretty awesome. Right here is your fuse panel, right above the turn on for the water heater. The fuse panel is for both the 120 and the 12 volt system. Here you got your 120 volt fuses on in black, and then they're all appropriately labeled of what's what. Should anything short, it pops the fuse. And there's your 12 volt. If any of these 12 volt little flat switches go out, they turn red, and there's a light, and you'll know they're out pretty simply. This whole back bay was gutted and remodeled. This was not original, but it turned out pretty great, and was able to make it kind of still a pass through. On the opposite side, you've got more storage. Here you've got some 12 volt, USB-C, USB-A, as well as cigarette lighter plug, and then another outlet. This is the fill for the onboard tank, the winter tank, and it's right next to the Webasto heater, which runs off the gas tank. It's a gas version since this is a gasoline van, and it will bake this van. It's really warm and runs excellently. So this is a 4-season van because you can keep everything inside the van from freezing. And there's a light kind of, when the pump comes on, there's a light behind the tank so you can see the levels of the water for the inside tank. Pretty unique setup there. So these are the cushions that came originally with the van. We've cleaned them, we've shampooed them, but they're the original fabric, which again goes with our theme. And you have this option to have benches. The cushions come with the van, as well as the 6-inch memory foam mattress. As you can see here, you have full pass-through. Not quite high enough for adults to sit up in the back, but definitely great for kids or for lying down or for utility mode. You pull out the cushions and fit all kinds of stuff in the back. It is a king-size bed area. There's king-size bedding on it when it's in mattress mode. So pretty easy to pull the cushions out and put the mattress in. Here's what it looks like without the cushions. These just pop off and sit right in. All of the panels in the back were reupholstered, as I mentioned, with this Marathon tweed fabric. Very durable, high quality stuff. All new lighting on the bulkheads there. And there's charging ports for USB. You mean those little black boxes are up there on the right is what that is. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed the tour. This is one of the most epic restorations